Dr. Andrew Huberman, a professor at Stanford University and one of the most reputable figures in neuroscience and health, has a 2-hour video on his YouTube channel about caffeine consumption. In this video, he introduces scientific tools that help us optimize our caffeine intake and get the most positive effects from it. A few minutes later in the video, he explains very clearly what exactly we should do regarding coffee so we can benefit from it in the best way possible. He talks about where the problems are, what behaviors we need to adjust, and how we should modify our relationship with coffee. But before that, he shares some general information and data about coffee so we actually understand how it works in the body and what effects it has on the brain. Currently, more than 90% of adults around the world consume caffeine, and more than 50% of teenagers also use caffeine throughout the day. Coffee consumption is increasing every year. But the interesting part is that coffee not only reduces our sense of fatigue, which he later explains exactly how, but it also has another fascinating effect. Even seeing cues related to coffee, like a cup with a coffee-related logo, or consuming foods that contain some caffeine, unconsciously draws us toward it. We end up gravitating toward coffee-related things without even noticing. One very important point about coffee is that coffee does not give us energy. It removes our sense of fatigue. To understand the difference, we need to talk about what happens in the body after we drink coffee. Coffee's effects are closely tied to another molecule in the body called adenosine. Adenosine works like this. The longer we stay awake and active during the day, the more adenosine builds up in the body, and this buildup makes us feel tired. What coffee does is temporarily block the effects of adenosine. Imagine a parking spot in your mind. Either caffeine can park there or adenosine can. Adenosine is what makes us feel tired. When we drink coffee, caffeine occupies that parking spot, preventing adenosine from exerting its effect. But this does not mean adenosine disappears. It's still there, just unable to act for a while. The moment the caffeine wears off, all that accumulated adenosine suddenly rushes in and exerts its full effect at once. That's why we sometimes feel a crash after the caffeine effect fades. So what coffee really does is neutralize the feeling of fatigue by temporarily blocking adenosine. Now let's move on to the protocols, the practical steps we can take to use coffee properly and get the best possible benefits from it. The first thing we need to talk about is the dose of coffee. What dose is appropriate for us? It's difficult to determine a single exact amount for every individual because many factors can influence this. But a good guideline that works for almost everyone is consuming 1 to 3 milligrams of caffeine per kilogram of body weight in a single intake. For example, if you weigh 50 kilograms, then somewhere between 50 and 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving would be suitable for you. You can calculate this based on your own body weight and decide how much caffeine you can have each time you consume it. The second thing we need to talk about is the timing of coffee consumption, meaning the time of day when coffee provides the best effectiveness. According to Dr. Huberman, when we wake up, we should wait around 90 to 120 minutes before having our first coffee. Why does he say this? He explains that if you drink coffee immediately after waking up, you will experience a big afternoon crash later. This goes back to the same adenosine caffeine mechanism. Imagine you wake up and immediately drink 2 shots of coffee. What happens is, you feel energized for a while because caffeine takes that parking spot. But as soon as the caffeine wears off, the accumulated adenosine suddenly hits you. Around 1 p.m., 2 p.m., or 3 p.m., you experience a major wave of fatigue and feel like you need a nap for 1 or 2 hours to recover. But instead, if you wake up and wait 90 to 120 minutes before drinking coffee, you will have a more stable level of energy throughout the day. Feel less tired in the afternoon, be able to get your tasks done, and also sleep better at night. Now you might say, I absolutely can't wait 90 to 120 minutes. I need my coffee first thing in the morning. Dr. Huberman suggests 2 options for people like this. Split your dose. For example, if you normally drink 2 shots of coffee, drink 1 shot right when you wake up and the second shot 120 minutes later. This can help a lot if you really want that immediate morning coffee. Gradually delay your coffee time. Start by waiting just 5 minutes, then 20 minutes, then an hour, and slowly push it back. The important point to remember is that the ideal time to drink coffee is 90 to 120 minutes after waking. The next issue he talks about is, when should we stop drinking coffee for the day? The best case scenario, and the most strict one, is to avoid caffeine 12 hours before your bedtime. This is quite strict and may not be realistic for everyone, especially people who like an afternoon coffee. For those individuals, the recommendation is, after 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., try not to drink coffee anymore. Some people say, I can drink coffee at 9 p.m. and still fall asleep at 10 p.m. No problem. Dr. Huberman says yes, that may be true for some people, but falling asleep is not the same as having quality sleep. You might fall asleep, but the quality of your sleep may be compromised, which can make you feel more tired the next day. So in general, try to avoid coffee after 3 or 4 p.m. so you can fall asleep easily and have high-quality sleep. Another topic Dr. Huberman talks about is coffee fasting. Some of us consume so much coffee over time that we become tolerant to it. No matter how much we drink, it no longer affects us. You might drink 10 shots of coffee and feel nothing. There are a few solutions for this, and the most important one is to give yourself a break for 48 to 72 hours, 2 to 3 days without coffee. Doing this helps reset your tolerance, and after a short break, your sensitivity to caffeine returns. He also has a great recommendation for students. He says, if a student has an important exam on a specific day and wants to perform at their best mentally and physically, they should stop drinking coffee 2 or 3 days before the exam. Then, on the exam day, drink coffee beforehand. This can significantly boost performance. Another point he talks about is body tremors. Some people drink so much coffee that their hands start shaking. They can neither stop drinking coffee nor get rid of the shakiness. What should they do? First, we need to understand the reason. Why does this happen? Coffee causes your body to lose water. And with that water loss, certain minerals, including electrolytes, are also depleted. You need to replace these. Try eating some salt with your food or get electrolytes from a pharmacy. Sports drinks also contain electrolytes, and using them can help stop the tremors. Fixing this will improve your brain's performance as well. The last thing he discusses is coffee, memory, and learning. Specifically, how the two are connected. How can we use coffee to retain information better and improve learning? He explains that many people drink 2 shots of espresso before studying and then start reading. He says this isn't necessarily bad, but there is another method that can be even more effective if your goal is to memorize and retain information. Study first, and then drink your coffee. This shift in timing changes certain neurotransmitter levels and can help information consolidate more effectively in your brain. So, if you're someone who studies a lot, you can use this technique to help your learning stick better. My final recommendation is this. If you've enjoyed the video up to this point, definitely go watch Dr. Huberman's episode on caffeine on his YouTube channel. There's so much more you can learn from it.